forgot to turn that on. Hello, everyone. We are going live, as you can clearly tell. Once you tune in, say hey, say hello. And of course, my hair is in the way of the microphone all of the time. All of the time. We are crocheting on today's live. I know it's going to be probably a minute before I get some live watchers. That is okay. Also, I really love this color that I'm using. It doesn't look like the right color on the live. It's like a nice bright green color, but it looks blue on live and I don't know why. Hold on, let me go turn on some more lights because I can't even show the proper color because it's not showing up as the proper color. Oh, it's showing up to be more what the other color is. I don't like that. Also, I'm wearing pajamas today. Shout out to Walmart. I've had these for at least a year so far, and they're really comfortable. They do come with bottoms, but I'm wearing shorts because it's still kind of warm. I don't know if this shows up more green. It shows up more blue. I'm using a yarn that's like the same color as what this shows up on camera, but this is green, not a blue. I don't know why it's not showing up. For reference, what this looks like on camera, is the color of this yarn. This yarn is not as blue as what it's showing up on camera. I don't know why. This is like a bright green, and this is more of like a blue. Like a tealy blue. Not like a cobalt blue like showing up on camera. Wow, these colors are wildly not accurate. But this is what it looks like. I'm crocheting a hat, you guys. And if you're wondering, I'm using Cascade Yarns Pacific Chunky, in case anybody is wondering. It is 60% acrylic and 40% superwash merino wool. And I know a lot of people are picky about wool, but I have personally found that this is a wool that's not itchy, in case anybody is wondering about that. So say hey, say hello in the comments. Ask me questions. Let's chat. I want this live to be as interactive as possible. Hi. I'm not sure how to say your name, but hello. So these are the two colors that I'm using. This is more of a bright green, and this is more of like a tealy bluey color. And yeah, the way that it's looking to me on camera is not even similar to what it actually is. I am. You can look up Fibers in the Wind on Instagram. However, I don't post on Instagram a lot. I do post here more, and I do sometimes occasionally post at Fibers in the Wind on TikTok. I do have a Facebook group called Fibers in the Wind, but I'm hardly ever there as well. I'm primarily here first on YouTube, and then also somewhat on TikTok, and then occasionally, sometimes also on Instagram. But yes, you can find me at Fibers in the Wind on Instagram. Also, don't forget to subscribe once I get to 200 subscribers. I hope to do a 200 subscriber giveaway And I want to give away a whole 10-piece set of these Clover and More crochet hooks plus a variety of yarns at some point. Once I get some financials coming in, because I am kind of broke at this current moment. But right now we're making a hat. See, this blue is more of a like tealy blue, and this is more of a green. The camera is just not picking it up at all. Like, this green is more green, and this blue is not that shade of blue. If I'm leaning over you guys, it's because I'm looking at the comments on my computer so that I can respond to you guys. It says, "Hi. Sure. If you wanna put the link to your account, you are more than welcome to do that. I would love to check it out. When I'm done going live, I will be sure to do that as long as you shoot the link in the comments because otherwise I might forget. Um, Thank you. You asked how am I? I'm doing really good. We got some crochet going on. I'm making a hat. Again, these colors look almost the same on camera. The green is like a bright emerald green, and then the blue is like a, I guess, I don't know how to describe it. I describe it more like a tealy blue, I guess, if you want to call it that. Perfect. Thank you so much. I will try to remember to look that up when we are done. I think that that's great. Anyways, today is just kind of a not, you know, I'm not doing a whole lot today. Also, if you guys want to check me out on Ravelry.com, I will post a link for that down below. Let me see if I can do that. I will post a link to Ravelry.com. I will do that. Just give me one sec, you guys. Okay. I'm going to copy. I'm going to post, if I can, the link. And this should be, as far as I know, this should end up being a clickable link, you guys. So if you want to check out my brand new pattern that I've got going on Ravelry, we have the smaller size. This is the ribbed helix dish scrubby. It's like a much smaller. It's a beautiful dish scrubby, you guys. I really like the edge on this because it's really good for scrubbing your dishes. It's like a really textured edge to really be good for scrubbing your dishes. And it does come in the regular smaller size and a much larger size. And you can use these for cleaning your dishes, your bathroom, any home surface really. You can throw these in your dishwasher if you're using them just for dishes, or if you're using them for general purpose cleaning, you can throw them in with your clothes, which is really cool. So if you'd like to get a copy of this pattern, I did post the link in the comments, and I will pin the message so that you guys can check that out. Anyways, if you want to help support the channel, going and purchasing this pattern from Ravelry would mean a lot to me. My goal is to get up to 10 purchases. That's my goal for the day. And I really hope that you consider doing so because they don't hold a bunch of bacteria like other scrubbers do. Because there's an exit hole and an enter hole, so it goes in one side and out the other. So there's not really a chance for bacteria to grow and build. And also, if you make them right, these will last you 5, 10, 15, however many years, as long as you maintenance them regularly enough, and as long as you make them to where they don't come unraveled. And they're really good scrubbing tools as well, and they don't damage your dishware. And like I said, you can use this to scrub your bathroom, your dishes, your sinks, your countertops. And the pattern does come with 2 sizes. It has the instructions based on this, and then um, the adaptations for the larger size. So if you're interested in purchasing that and helping support the channel and helping me have the funds to be able to design more creative things, because I plan to sell my products and design more patterns, but that does cost money. So if you're interested, this pattern is only $2 on Ravelry, and I did pin the link in the comments, and you can help me out by checking it out. Again, the pattern is for only $2, and you do get both the large and the small size. So it's written for the smaller size with adaptations for the larger size. And I would say the pattern level in the pattern itself says it's easy, but I would say it's about intermediate beginner is what the crochet level for this pattern is. It's very versatile, and I thought it was very fun to make too because it doesn't take super long, and I love the rough, like ropey type textured edge. It adds a good style to it, but the main reason I did it was because for those really hard stuck on bits of food that are like on your dishes and stuff, I figured it would, you could really get in there and like scrub the dishes. And so I figured having that extra texture would be good for that. And so that's why I wanted an edge that's not only stylish and looks nice, but that also is really good for scrubbing dishes. Plus, this one, because it's bigger, has more ribs than the smaller one, and so there's more scrubbing power. But you get both of the sizes in the pattern. And the pattern, I think, in my opinion, is pretty easy to follow. I tried to make it that way. And so you can try the smaller one if you want to start out, or you could do the larger one or one of each. And you could have like larger ones for different areas of your home, smaller ones for dishes, or vice versa. You can even do like, you could color code them, meaning you could make like yellow ones for just your dishes only, and countertops and kitchen basically, and like maybe white or blue ones for cleaning your bathroom only. And you could, and you could make multiple of these in a day. Like if you're a fast crocheter, you could probably make 4 or 5 in one day, depending on the size that you make. They take maybe about, well, I'm a slow crocheter, so for me, it takes me about roughly an hour-ish to make one. But if you're a normal crocheter who isn't as slow as a snail, you could crochet one of these in probably less than an hour. So, yeah, I just wanted to show those to you. I think they're really cute. They're really fun. I haven't used these ones yet, but I do plan to. These are my sample ones. I do plan to use them eventually, but anyways, they're really fun. Also, if you want, these could be like face scrubbers, exfoliators. You could use these in the bath and shower as body scrubbers as well. They are more marketed to dish scrubbies, but it's using cotton yarn, so you can make these for body scrubbers as well. And again, they're great because you can put them in your dishwasher if you're using them as dish scrubbies, or in your clothing washer for all-purpose household, you know, scrubbers. So that's really why they're great. Anyways, enough of that. I just wanted to describe why they're great. And this yarn, too, even though it's a wool yarn, it's not itchy and it's really soft. I believe I did mention, but I believe they are acrylic as well. Let me verify. Yeah, 60% acrylic, 40% superwash merino wool. Now, the fact that it's superwash merino means that you can put these in the washing machine, which is great for any wearable products because, in my personal opinion, I don't like to use yarn to make wearable products that I can't wash in some fashion, because I like to make sure that when I'm crocheting a wearable, that when it gets dirty, I can wash it. And a lot of people don't realize how dirty hats can get, you know, because they don't consider hats like a clothing item like they do other things, but hats are a clothing item. Just want to put that out there, and they do need to be washed in whatever fashion you're able to. And so if you get a yarn that you absolutely cannot get wet, that's not great, because what if you go outside when it's raining and you're wearing the hat? Then you can't really do much with that. So I like to find superwash merino wools when I can, because again, you can get them wet and you can wash them. So that's the benefit. And if you're wondering, it is the Cascade yarns, and just I just love it. Do you have any hobbies? I crochet, that's one of my hobbies. Um, and I'm slowly learning how to knit. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I do YouTube on the side. Um, I don't post typical like regular content right now. I'm just doing lives mostly because I'm living with somebody else and I don't really have a space to film regular content, so temporarily I'm just doing lives. Um, do I make crochet animals? I don't do amigurumi because I've done amigurumi, which is what you're referring to in case you didn't already know. Um, I'm just not interested that much in amigurumi as much as like making hats and bags and stuff like that. So right now we're making a hat, and I wish I could show you what the colors of the yarn are because it's popping up super blue on camera, and it's like a bright, like a emerald bright green and like this nice like tealy blue color, and I just can't get that to show up on camera. I wish. And this yarn is not itchy at all to me, and it's really soft. And I generally do find a lot of wools to be itchy, so to have this not be itchy at all, like 0% itch, I find that that's great. Yeah, Millie, if you're interested, you can click the link pinned in the comments because I do have this dish grubby pattern that I just came out with, the smaller one and the larger one. So I pinned the link to where you can get this on my Ravelry. It's only $2 for the pattern, and you get both sizes in the one pattern. And I think $2, excuse me, is a great price. Plus, they're pretty easy to make. I would say they're about intermediate beginner level. And you can make multiple in one day. So if you're interested and you want to support the channel and support the work that I do, the best way you can do that, besides subscribing, if you haven't already, please do that, is also making sure you go and purchase the pattern. And again, I did pin the link in the comments. Anyways, enough about that. I just want to share this hat that I'm making. I'm not following a pattern. It is random. Um, wow. The blue that's in this pattern that's showing up on video is not that blue. It's more of a lighter tealy blue, and the green is like a really bright. I wish I could show you because the colors are so pretty, and this video is not doing it justice, like legit at all. But yeah, the colors you're seeing are not accurate. At least the colors I'm seeing on screen are not accurate even close. So I just have one skein of each, and I'm gonna be using both of these colors to make this hat. And then I was thinking, let me know what you guys think, but I was thinking that I could do some like matching fingerless gloves or something if I had enough leftover yarn. Now hear me out. I have not the same yarn as this, but a slightly thicker yarn that I could pair it with, and it's this really big Lion brand Hometown, I believe, in the color white. So if I had like a little bit of any of these colors left, I could pair it with this. Now this is a bulkier yarn, but I could pair it with this, and this I believe is it's a 5 weight. Or no, it's 5 ounces. It's a 6 super bulky. Oh, I don't know what this one is. And I don't know what I did with the label. Let me see. This, I don't think it says. It doesn't say the size of the yarn. It says it's 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 120 yards, 110 meters. It does give you a gauge, but it doesn't say, like, the bulkiness level of this yarn. I assume this is, like a 4 to 5, maybe? Like, like maybe a slightly thinner 5 is what I would recommend this to be, but I don't know. But this I could still pair and use this as like the primary color if I wanted to make like some matching fingerless gloves, and then if I have any of these yarns left over, I could like use it as accent colors. So that's definitely a possibility. And I like this yarn because it has a little thing on their label that they're doing now where it gives you a rough guesstimation of how many skeins you will need for a particular project. So it says you can use this skein to make one hat. To make a scarf, you would need 4 skeins and 10 skeins to make a sweater. Now again, that's based on your hook size, your tension, and the pattern you're following. So it is just a rough guesstimation, but I like that because you get a kind of a general idea. And I do think that all brands should be required to do that just so you can get a general sense. And then if you have a pattern in mind, you can read the pattern instructions to kind of see if that aligns with what they're saying or if maybe you need a little more or a little less. And I just really like that. And I applaud Lion Brand for doing that because, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I don't think there is other yarn brands that are doing that on the label. There could be some more indie yarn brands that are offering that, but I haven't seen it myself. But that doesn't mean it's not there. I just personally have never seen it, so this is really great because it says for hats, scarves, and sweaters roughly how many skeins that you're going to need. And it's just cute. They're just pictures of the items, plus a number, and then a little yarn ball symbol. So it's very easy to understand, and it's just such a great metric to have, I think, anyways. And I don't think Lion Brand has always done that. I could be wrong. I believe in the last 7 or 8 years they maybe started doing that, but I could be wrong on that as well. I'm not up with the times. But you guys, this yarn is so nice. I am really picky about my wools, and typically I don't like wools because they're itchy, but this is like softer than a lot of acrylics that I've used, a lot of other fibers that I've used, and it's really nice. This is showing up on camera as a bluey green, but this is like not like a bluey green at all. And this is showing up as a more vibrant dark blue, and it's not that. Gosh, I really wish you guys could see this right. It irritates me because the colors are so pretty. They're so beautiful. They really are. So again, for the hat, I'm not following a particular pattern. It's rando. I make up my hats. I find hats so easy to make and so customizable that I typically don't follow a pattern for the hats that I do. Not that I've never followed a pattern for a hat. I just like the fact that I can be more creative and make them in any way that I want. And like I don't always know how I want the hat to be when I'm starting out. I just kind of start out with a flat circle and then just kind of make it up as I go, honestly. That's just how I've always done hats. And fun fact, crochet hats are the first thing that I ever learned to make when I was first learning to crochet, almost 20 years ago. And let me tell you what, I love hats. I really do. If you've never crocheted hats and you're new to crochet and and you're considering hats, but maybe you're on the fence, I recommend them because they're really easy to customize and make to your head size. What I typically do for hats is you'll get a feel for it as you learn to crochet more if you're new, is you make the flat circle part, right? And I put it on my head, and I like to roughly say that the flat circle part has to cover at least half of the top of my head. Sometimes a little less than half, sometimes a little more than half, depending on if your yarn is stretchy or not. If you have a yarn that's not super stretchy, you might want to make it a little more than half the size. If it's very stretchy, you might want to make it a little less than half the size. And basically what I do is I go to a mirror or I turn on my phone camera and I just look at it by putting it on top of my head. And I just look and say, is it about roughly half the size of the top of my head? And that's how I determine if the hat's going to fit me, because the walls of the hat that go down are going to cover up some of that head, which is why you don't want the hat to fit the entire top, because then when you make the walls, it's going to be actually too big. So that's how I measure. I don't measure with the measure tape. That you can if that's what suits you better and if that's how you prefer, but that's just how I do it. And as long as you get the flat circle part to be the right size, then you're good for pretty much the rest of the pattern. Because most of the time, unless it's necessary, I don't do any increasing or any decreasing. I just make the flat circle part the size that I need, and then I just stop with adding any increases or any decreases throughout the whole pattern. Unless a certain design or shape requires it to be like increases or decreases, then I just don't. So you only have to measure for that one part of the hat, and then you just do the walls. You're good to go. And I like this style. I'm doing half double crochet in the back loop only. And I really like how this hat's turning out. It's really, really nice. And I should be able to make one with these two skeins. They are slightly smaller. They did say only 3.5 ounces, which to me this looks bigger than 3.5, even when it was full. But it's just because it's a thicker yarn that it looks more. If you guys are watching and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I do promise that once I get my own place and I'm not couch surfing anymore, pretty much, and I have the setup, I will go back to doing regular content and not just live streams. Because I just don't have a good setup. And I was thinking of doing some type of content besides live streams, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion, so leave in the comments. Let me see if I can post in the comments, and you guys can let me know. Hold on, let me post it. So I did post in a poll, a yes or no poll in the comments. Let me know if you would and what your opinions on that are. And it would have to be just very easygoing type of content, just because I don't have my own. I have a living situation, but again, I'm staying with someone temporarily, and so because of that, it limits the type of content that I can do. So eventually, I do want to do more edited content. That is the goal. It's just not that feasible right now. And who knows, I might incorporate some editing techniques into it in the future. So I posted a poll in the comments if you guys would be willing and wanting to watch unedited crochet slash knitting lifestyle vlogs. So if that interests you, let me know. I did post a poll, yes or no. Just be completely honest. It's not going to hurt my feelings what your opinions are. But if you have opinions, I would like to know what those opinions are. So please let me know. Also, I'm using my J 6mm crochet hook, and I really like this. It's a nice chocolatey brown color. I've had this hook for 8 years, and I absolutely love it. I've had this whole set for 8 years. Hold on, I'm going to read your comments in just a second. Hi! Hi, Leonardo. Hi. Hi. I'm doing fine. How are you? We are crocheting in today's live. If you like crochet related content, please make sure to subscribe. Also, there is a link in the comments where you can purchase my brand new ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern. I do have 2 sizes available, and it has the written instruction for 2 for this size and the adaptations for this size. And it's only $2. Also, I do have a poll in the comment. What do you mean you don't like this? If you don't like the content, you can leave. That's fine with me. Thank you, but if you don't like the content, leave. No one's forcing you to watch it. But if you'd be willing to watch crochet/knitting lifestyle vlogs, please answer the poll in the chat. If you're not interested, tell me no. Click no if you're not interested. It's more beneficial for me to have you answer than to just not answer at all because you don't care. Like, I would rather you say no if that's how you feel. But I would rather you put that in the poll. So, whether you're interested or not, be honest. It's not going to hurt my feelings. It just does help me know what kind of content to make, what kind of content not to make. I may at some point get into back to editing, but for right now, that's just not feasible. So, we'll see. We'll see what we do. I am a slow crocheter, so I feel like this does take me longer than it should. But I'm okay with that. I don't know, I just find crochet hats very therapeutic. It's weird. I love hats. It's weird. So let's see what the poll says. So we don't have any votes on the poll. So if you guys want to leave your, please click on the poll in the comments and please answer whether or not you're interested in lifestyle crochet/knitting vlogs or not. Like, it's better for me if you answer. So let me know. Just hit yes or no in the poll. Because I would rather be honest and have you guys say no if that's how you feel, because then it would tell me not to make that kind of content, And I do want to make content that's authentic to me, that I enjoy, but I also want to make sure it's content that you're enjoying. And I want this channel to be super engaging, and I want your guys' opinion and feedback. I really respect your guys' opinion and feedback, and I would really love it, honestly. It would help me out a ton. And it doesn't cost any money for you to do. It's completely free. Just had to check to make sure my mic was still on. Because I don't know how charged it is, honestly. And you guys, look at how beautiful this texture is. The half double crochet in the back loop on it. It's so pretty. I just love it. It's so pretty. I really do just love it. I do just love it, love it, love it. It's such a beautiful texture I'm finding. If you guys love half double crochet, let me know too in the comments. I don't know. Double crochet is nice, but I like half double crochet a little more, I think, because it's more of a tighter texture, I guess. And I really do just love that. I really think that it's pretty. And this yarn has kind of like a sheen to it, like a shine. Like it kind of shimmers a little in the light. I don't know if it's the fiber content or the dyeing process that they did. Either way, it's mildly shiny in the light. It's so pretty. It's really pretty. If you're a crochet lover like I am, what's your favorite, like, crochet stitch/technique? Because honestly, I love the half double crochet. And any stitch in the back loop just really adds dimension. I think I'm probably gonna change colors here soonish. I have an idea that I think will be cool. Right now I'm doing half double crochet in the back loop, but I want to change colors and have like a certain amount of stripes in the green color and maybe a certain amount of stripes like in the blue. But what if I did one separating round of half double crochet in the third loop for one round and then switch colors and then go back to 1/2 double crochet in the back loop for the rest of the round. Like, what do you guys think of that? I'm just spouting off ideas here because, again, I didn't pre-plan how this was going to go. I'm just making it up as I go. So I don't know. Maybe that could be a cute style detail. So when you crochet in the 3rd loop, you see how there's these like 2 V's here? Like you have the top V and the bottom V of the stitch. But when you crochet in the 3rd loop, it pushes both of the V's out front and makes like a rib effect, similar to the back loop only stitches, except for the back loop only stitches makes a rib by exposing one of the parts of the V, but with the 3rd loop, it exposes both. So it would just be the V, but it would like be pushed down. So instead of the V being on top right here, it would be like down here on the side, on the front, if that makes sense. And it would be like a separating line. Maybe I will do that. So I think for now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think for now, I'm probably gonna finish this round and then do half double crochet in the 3rd loop. I do believe that's probably what I'm gonna do in this particular same color, and then switch to the other color again, and then continue doing the half double crochets in the back loop. And if you stay long enough to where I'm changing colors, I can show you an easy way to change colors that you can't tell that you changed the color there. I mean, you can tell in the sense that you can visibly see where the color change happened because it switches from one color to another, but there's like no joining, if that makes sense. There's no joining. Hi, everybody. If you want to check out my ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern, I did pin the link in the comments. There are 2 sizes for the dish scrubby, and right now we are crocheting a hat. I'm working half double crochets in the back loop, and we're finishing. Okay, we almost just passed this round on accident. Whoopsie. This is what we got going on so far. We have 100% said yes. 2 votes. Great. Thank you so much for voting. Please vote. Please vote. Again, it would eventually be edited. It's just unedited right now. So this is what the pattern looks like for anybody that's interested. My ribbed helix dish scrubby. Here's the small one, which the main pattern is written for the small one with slight adaptations for the large one in writing. And it's only $2, and that would be your best way, besides subscribing and liking the video, to support the work that I do. And it's a great price because you're getting 2 patterns. You're getting 2 sizes. And initially I wasn't even going to give 2 sizes. So I am going to continue using this color for one more round, and then I'm going to switch. But I am going to do half double crochet in the 3rd loop, and the next round, if you stick around, I will show you how to change colors without a color changing seam. You will see an abrupt like area where the colors do change, but it's not going to make a seam or anything, if that makes any sense. So I'll just show you the 3rd loop. So the 3rd loop of your stitches, let me see if I can show it to you. When you're working half double crochet, is literally right there. You have, I'll show you on this stitch, you have the front and the back V right here, this V, the top V, and then on the back, you have this 3rd loop right here. Right here. And if you combined this loop right here with the top, it kind of makes like another V because this is the back loop and this is the third loop. And it's different for every stitch. There is a third loop with single and double, but it is in a slightly different orientation. But when you go to crochet, you could see all these loops right here, these big ones down here, are all third loops. These ones on top are the back loop. This one that you're seeing, this whole line, is all third loops. And I'm going to do a couple more stitches and then kind of show you what I mean in terms of like how it looks. So it does a rib design that's a little bit different than the back loop stitches because you're going in the back loop and it actually makes like the V of the entire stitch push forward. So let me show you what that looks like. So let me just show you these again. So here you could see how it's just like the one loop, and then here you see how it pushed the total V forward. So it pushes the total V forward instead of just, you know. So that's what I like about it, is it pushes that whole entire V of the stitch forward instead of just like a front loop or just a back loop, you know. I'm glad that we got that figured out. Please vote in the comments. There's a poll. The question is, would you watch unedited crochet vlogs? Crochet knitting lifestyle vlogs. Now, the reason why I'm saying unedited is because I just don't have the space and the setup to do a ton of editing. Now, it's not to say that I'm not going to edit some of my shorter content, but for temporarily, it's not going to be fully edited and stuff like that. But yeah, I like crocheting in the third loop of the half doubles because the third loop is just like a second giant back loop. And it's kind of unmistakably right there. And especially when you're using a larger yarn, you can really easily see it. And it's loose enough too. It's just as loose as the top of the entire stitch, so it's really easy to go into, which I like. Like I don't have to fight to get my hook into it. So that's what I really like about it. It's not like a super tight loop or anything. It's just as loose as the entire stitch itself. In fact, it might be slightly looser, to be honest. And I find it's really easy to do. And again, you can see how it makes this like hard to show it. How it takes both the front and back loop and pushes it forward, and these ones are just the front loops pushed forward. That's the difference. So I'm just gonna be doing, oh, shoot. I did a back loop single only. Whoopsie, I didn't mean to. That's what I've been doing, so that's why I just did it on accident. Oh, you guys can see my laptop. Whoops, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's what we're working on. Hey guys, if you guys want to check out the link in my comments that's pinned, you can download my ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern. You get a smaller size and then adaptations for a larger size for only $2, which is a killer deal. So if anybody's interested, if you want to help support the work that I do, I highly recommend you go download the pattern because honestly, it really does support this work that I do, and it really helps the financial side of being able to do this kind of content. And that money can help fund future yarn shops so that I can create more content for you guys. Honestly, I might want to get some more of this Cascade yarn specific chunky. If you guys have a chunky yarn that you really like that's good quality, let me know because I'm looking for some chunkier yarns. If you also have like a DK weight yarn that you really like, let me know in the comments as well because I'm kind of looking to try some new yarns. And you can also put down what like your favorite color is as well, if you're interested. Because, it's always good to know what colors you're vibing with. I typically like to go for more blues and greens. So sometimes I'll buy like a pink yarn to go out of my comfort zone. But I was watching a video recently. I don't know who it was, but it was this lady and she was showing like these easy crochet sweaters that she's made that she recommends you make. And in the background was just like shelves and shelves of yarn. And she had this whole sections of like icy blue colors and like bluish white colors, like light blue colors. And I was like, those colors are so pretty, and I kind of want to know what yarn they are because I was like, ooh, I just wish I could reach through the screen and grab a few skeins. You know what I mean? Like they were so pretty. Oh my gosh, you guys! I literally started crocheting in the back loop again. Whoops, my bad. I just got lost. I got lost in my thoughts and started crocheting in the back loop again. Like I legitimately did. Hi, Mindy. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you for voting in the comments. Also, if you guys are interested in checking out my ribbed helix dish goby pattern, click the link in the comments. It is available on Ravelry if anybody is interested to help support the work I do. I will have to admit, this yarn is a lot softer than I thought it was going to be completely honest. Because I had never used it before when I had bought it. I knew it existed and I'd seen it, but I'd never used it until I bought it. And I just thought, I don't know about this whole wool thing, but this is some of the softest wool ever. Like there's no itch factor for me personally at all. And I know that everybody is different and everybody has different sensory preferences and needs. So I'm telling you that for me it's not itchy, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be itchy for you. It just doesn't mean that. It's different for everybody. But I am pretty picky when it comes to wool, and I personally think that about 98% of wools are itchy, except not this one, which is weird. So if I can find a reasonably priced wool that's not itchy, I'm gonna go for it because honestly, why not? Oh, and I'm nearing the end. Woohoo! That means I'm gonna switch to my more blue color. It's not this blue in real life, you guys. You can barely even tell that the green is green. The green just looks like a different shade of blue on camera. These colors are not. I guess they're more accurate if I back up really far. However, when I do that, you can't really tell. And it's kind of like curling up. It's not laying completely flat, which was not the intended plan. But honestly, I kind of like that. It's accidental, and I think it's cute, to be completely honest. Hmm. Was not hoping or planning for that, but it's cute, in my opinion. I like it. Well, I guess that's what you get for experimenting. We're approaching the end, and I want to show you guys my newer, recently found way of changing colors. The cool thing about changing colors in the method that I do is, first of all, I do it like at the beginning, end of every round. So as long as you see where that physical color change happened, then you kind of know where the end and the beginning is, and so you don't really need a stitch marker. And I don't join my rounds either, except for a finishing join at the end when I'm done with my project. Also, I'm thinking of doing maybe like a cute edge on this hat when it's done. So if you have any ideas for a cute edge, like an edging stitch, let me know because I haven't decided what kind of edging stitch that I want to do yet. So it does look like I have one more stitch to go, and we're going to change colors now so I can kind of show you how. It's going to be kind of tricky, but so you want to make sure you pull your loop a little bit loose, and then you want to make sure that you just have your other working yarn like so. That's kind of how you want it. It doesn't matter how long it is, however long you see fit to be able to crochet over it / weave in said end. So what you're going to want to do is I will kind of point to the parts for this and explain it and then show you. So you're going to want to go, if you can see the stitch, you have, it's hard to show, but you have this loop here and then this loop right here. So this top one and this one right here, and you're going to want to stick your hook through that. And I'll do that and I'll show you without anything connected, of course. And every stitch has some semblance of these loops. So this is what it looks like. So you stick it through like that, and see how I have the loop still on there? And then what you're going to want to do is take your other yarn, like this. I like to make it a little bit longer, just so I have plenty to weave in. And then with your hook looking like this, what you're going to want to do is take the yarn, put it on the hook, and just take it and pull it through those two holes. So then what you're going to have is you're going to have the working loop of the old color and then the working loop of the new color. So then you're going to stick your hook in the working loop of the new color. And basically what we're doing is we're basically just changing working loops. You're just replacing the one working loop with the old working loop. And then all you're going to do from there, hold on, let me get this other, the tail out of the way. Then what you're going to do from there is work your stitches as normal. And you're going to want to pull on the tails a little bit just to make them tighter. And then you're just going to work whatever stitch you're doing as normal, making sure that you pull it a little bit tighter. But I messed up a little bit just because I was trying to work in the back loop, but I didn't go through that whole back loop. So you just make sure that you pull the blue strand to make it a little tighter, and you can even pull after to make the stitch slightly tighter. I will do a couple stitches just to kind of show you what it looks like when it's done. Here real quick. So that is what it looks like. And you might be thinking, well, what about this loop of the other color? So then you're just going to go to the back of your project right here, and you're going to find that loop, the tail of the loop, and you're just going to pull it out. And you might find that the stitch is a little bit loose, so you can pull it just a tiny bit tighter. And basically what it does is it just makes that loop disappear. Now it is looking a little weird, so I am going to have to redo it, unfortunately, because for some reason it's looking a little weird. So I'm redoing it because it was looking kind of like I skipped a stitch, even though I didn't, and I don't really want it to look like that. So you're basically just changing out the working loops, is what you're doing. And then that's the only part that's different. And then, like I said, you just work your stitches as normal. And now I'm going to go back to working half doubles in the back loop. I was just doing that third loop half double crochet just to make like a distinguishable line, I guess. And I'm struggling to go through that entire back loop. So I would definitely wait until you get a few stitches in before you decide that you're going to pull out that loop. And then it doesn't create a join at all. It just acts as if the yarn magically switches color all on its own. You will see an abrupt, oh, it was green and now it's blue. You will see that, but it's not going to have like a join. Like there's no slip stitch or chain to join. All you're doing is just switching out your working loops. So then, now that we fixed the issue I was having, then you just pull that and you just pull out the other working loop and bam, it's completely gone. And again, you can tighten the stitch down a little bit if you so choose and wish. And it just definitely makes a easier like transition. Like again, there might be like a little bump where you changed the yarn colors, but other than that, it doesn't create a seam really. It kind of looks like a seam just because I went from working third loop half double to back loop half double. So you are seeing part of that back loop, but that's how you do it. And then once you crochet the amount of stitches you feel comfortable with, you can then cut this yarn. Or if you're going to be changing colors every round, you just leave that uncut, and then every round you could switch if that's what you're doing. So basically, in a half double crochet, let me get close to you so I can show you this. In the half double crochet right here, if you could see it, you would stick your hook through this loop right here and this loop right here. Go diagonally through this loop and this loop, if that makes any sense at all. So, basically, through the front loop, and then this loop right here. It's hard to show. This one and this one. And you would just go diagonally through, just like that. And then that is what it would look like on the hook. And then you would just loop your other yarn on. And that is just basically, you're just changing the working loops. And so it doesn't necessarily create a seam, except for when you're changing stitches, you might notice a slight bump, especially if your stitches are a little loose like mine. So because I switched from a third loop, a half double, back to the back loop half double, it does create a little line, but that's not really a seam. The little piece right here that you're seeing right here is just part of the back loop not being fully covered and being exposed. Oh, hi! Hi, Lydia. Yeah, I've been going live quite a bit lately. I just wanted to let you know that my ribbed helix stitch scrubby pattern is now live and available on Ravelry. You get the smaller size with adaptations for the larger size. They're great for scrubbing dishes. They're definitely great gifts. They're easy to make. You can make multiple in one day. They're very quick and easy. And you can purchase these on my Ravelry. The link is in the comments. And it's only $2 for both sizes. And it's I would say I wrote in the pattern that the pattern is easy for skill level because that's a term used by the Craft Yarn Council. But I would say it's about an intermediate beginning is what I would say. So that's a great way, if you're already subscribed, it's a great way that you can help support the channel because it just helps me be able to buy more yarn to be able to make more content for you guys. So, and it's only $2 and you get both sizes. And it's a very easy pattern. I am going to tell you that the whole pattern itself, the instructions are less than 1 page long. So it's a very easy pattern to follow. So if you're somewhat beginner and you want slightly more advanced techniques, I highly recommend. That's okay. If you can't, that's okay. But for anybody who's watching who's able, you could go there and you could like it. You know, you could heart it at least. That would help. And that's free to do. Um, and who knows, I might uh choose some lucky winners at some point to get a free copy. So if you'd like a free copy of the ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern, you can let me know why you think you should get a free copy. I know money is tight right now for me too, which is the reason I only am selling this for $2 because I was originally gonna sell it for like $3 or $4, and I did post it for 3, but yeah, I think I had it for 3 initially, but I lowered it down to $2 for the pattern just because I know money is tight for people and I wanted to make it inexpensive for everybody. So that is why. That's why it's cheaper than it was, because I just wanted to make it more affordable for a wider range of people. And occasionally I might be doing some more sales for said pattern. Just be on the lookout. And usually when I do sales, I usually sell my patterns for like $1.50 a piece instead of their original price, usually when I do sales. I'm surprised you haven't seen me go live lately, Lydia, because I've been going live pretty regularly. And thank you all for voting. I really appreciate you voting. If you haven't had a chance to vote in the poll, the question is, would you watch unedited crochet vlogs? My apologies for not putting a question mark at the end of that. But if you haven't had a chance to vote, please vote yes or no. It's I do random just whenever. Nights, days, just kind of whenever I feel like it. But if you have not had a chance to vote, would you be interested in watching unedited crochet knitting lifestyle vlogs? Eventually, my vlogs and content will get edited, and there might be some mild editing here and there in the content, but for right now, not, because it's just not in the cards for me to do a whole lot of editing right now. I have to slowly work back into that. Also, what's your favorite crochet stitch? Let me know. If there's a stitch that you don't think a lot of people know about that you absolutely love that you think I need to try, let me know, because I'm looking for some new stitches to try. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, I would absolutely be thrilled if you could share those with me, because I'm getting bored of the regular. Ah, so sometimes you work days and sometimes you work nights. Or mornings and nights. That's cool. And you're liking your job? Oh, cool. So it looks like 4 people said that they um would be willing to watch. So I'm just gonna close the poll because it kind of makes it hard to read the comments. And poll, thank you. We had a lot of votes. Also, I do want to make it clear that if I'm leaning over, it's because I'm trying to read the comments for the video on my laptop. So that's kind of the whole reason why I'm leaning over. Oh, I'm getting hot. I really wish you guys could see. It's more like a bright green in real life, and this is not the right shade of blue. It's just not. Oh, cool. Yeah, so right now I'm just back to doing my half double crochet in the back loop only. Again, I did do one round. You can see this round of half double crochet in the third loop, and these were all half double crochet in the back loop. So it's like a rib stitch. It's a half double crochet rib stitch is what it would technically be called. But I think the Yarn Craft Council just says back loop single crochet. So BLO dash single crochet or BLOSC. Even though it's technically called the rib stitch. So this would be technically called the half double crochet rib stitch. And you guys, my hat is curling up on the top in such a pretty fashion. And that was not planned for. I did not add that in my design. It just accidentally did that. But it's doing it in like all the right spots. And I think it's really cute. A happy accident, you might say. Oh, that's sad. Where did they move to? Did they move like far away? Also, I do want to say for hats, I don't count my rows or rounds unless I'm following a pattern. I just go and I try it on as I go, and once it looks and feels like it's long enough, then I just stop. That's the great thing about making hats for yourself. So they live far away? Dang, that sucks. I only have one friend who lives semi near me, like around 20 minutes away, unfortunately. This yarn is so nice. It's really soft for a yarn in general. Like I'm not even saying that it's soft for a wool. It's just soft for yarn. You know, it's just a genuinely soft yarn. Now I'm gonna be using this bluer color for a while, and so I'm gonna cut the green now because it's getting in the way. I just cut enough to sew the tail in, and then I just move this off to the side, and then if and when I'm ready, I will reattach it, which I will be reattaching this for sure. And I'm hoping between the two yarns I'll have enough to um make some fingerless gloves to go with this hat. And this is not a pattern. I just made this up as I go. And I'm not writing a pattern for this one because I honestly don't even remember how I did it. So if I can recall how I did it, I may end up writing a pattern, but it just depends. I've done that as well. Not with a knitting machine, but bottom up. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing them bottom up. I just personally think bottom up takes too long, and I'm just not willing to wait that long. But there's nothing wrong with it, though, to be clear. Oops. This is not working. The loop is really loose. You can tighten the loop though. That's the only thing is the loop can come kind of loose for the stitch that you're doing. But once you weave in your ends, it's not loose forever. It doesn't stay loose if that's... I think I technically do have to work this one. Yeah, and then this one, which does come, like I said, it does come loose every time. But then once you pull it down, it gets tight again. This does get super loose, but, and again, like I said, once I weave in that end, it's not going to be loose forever. So that's the only downfall, is it does get loose. I don't like that it does, but it does. But it'll get tight again permanently once you weave in the end. That's the only thing about this particular style of color changing, is that loose won't be fully secure until you weave in the end. That piece of yarn. So it'll keep coming loose. But you can pull it tight, and once you weave in the end, it's not going to come loose no more. So it's a little less secure initially. But once you, like I said, once you weave in the end and stuff, and you can keep readjusting by pulling it tight, there's not going to be an issue. And you won't notice it much. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm going to do at least, I'd say, 4 rounds of the half double crochet grid stitch, half double crochet BLO, whatever you want to call it, back loop only, whatever terminology you'd like to use for it. Oh, we've been going live for over an hour, you guys. This is great. It says average view duration is 24 seconds, but we've had almost 300 views so far. So that's pretty good. If we can get to 300 views, that would be lovely. We are at 289. So we just need 11 more views. So if you could make that happen, share. That would be great. Sorry, notifications on my phone, you guys. They're going wacko right now. Also, I did want to say, kind of off topic, but just a random thought, is that if you guys are interested and you're looking for a new laptop to get and you're not sure which one to get, and you want one that's under $1,000, but you want one that's still pretty decent, I have had this one for a while. It's called the HP Envy X360, and what I love about it is this is what it looks like. There's the YouTube dashboard. But what I love about it is the fact, oh shoot, why did it do that to me? It just did something to me, you guys. Rude. Right as I'm trying to show. Rude. Kind of off topic, but I just wanted to show you. We need to go to YouTube Studios. Content. Live. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go to my live. No. Why is it not going to it? My live. There we go. What I was trying to get at is it. You can't really tell, but it is touchscreen. But what's even cooler than it being touchscreen is check this out. I can set it up like this, or I can set it up like this, or I can lay it completely flat. And I'm sure you can buy a pen for this. The model I got didn't come with a pen, but you can. So you can use the keyboard part as like a stand for it, and it's totally completely touchscreen, which is really cool. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly, decent laptop, I kind of recommend this one. It's not the world's best, but it's decent for the price. I've had it for a while now. It's decent for the price because it's kind of like it has a computer operating system, but it has the physical functionality of a tablet and a laptop. So if you want to just set it up kind of to watch videos and stuff, you can. And you get a full screen experience, which is great. Oh, shoot. And for anyone that knows anything about computers, it does have the Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, not the Intel iCore, the Ultra Core, which is a better, faster style of processor, I guess, if that makes sense. So if anyone's interested and they're looking for something roughly under $1,000, but not super cheap, that is going to be decent, then I recommend this one. Again, do your own research and compare, but at least look into it if you're interested in a new computer and you want a laptop. And I like that I can fold it flat or have it standing up, in different, angles. Now, it's not totally 360, meaning you can't swivel the screen. It just goes like down, closed, and all the way back are the only orientations, but other than that, I think it's pretty decent. I've had it for a while, and I like the keyboard. Also, I like the charger it comes with. So this is the cord for the USB-C charger that it comes with, and it has this like, I don't know, this like knitted cord style, and it's very durable and flexible. So you get like this knit like rope fabric that goes over the plug all across the whole thing, and it's really, really long. It's multiple feet. And then it just has the part that plugs into the wall, and the part that plugs into the wall does unplug from this part as well. And it's very long. So I really like that, in case anyone was wondering. And I like the durability of the cord. I personally believe the cord is very durable. So if that means anything to anybody, just thought I'd put that out there. Not sponsored. I just like this laptop so far. And for under $1,000, it's an okay, decent laptop. Now, I don't agree that it's the world's best laptop. There are plenty laptops that are better out there that are even better for editing. This one's decent for editing, but it's not the world's best. But it's decent for a good starter laptop, and it works really decent. So far, I haven't really had a lot of problems with it at all. And a lot of the other laptops that I've gotten that used to be worth way more back in the day have just always given me a lot of problems, a lot of problems. So yeah. Oops. Sorry, I'm just slightly readjusting. I want to show you guys progress on the hat real quick. I'm a slow crocheter, so this is going to take me a bit, but I'm okay with that actually. Look at this. I don't know if you guys enjoy the curling up on the top, but I do. Totally an accident. And normally I wouldn't like that, but it does it at the right time. And it's just cute, and I love the color combo. I just love it. So I'm gonna try it on for you guys and see, kind of, whether or not it fits. Again, I do want to point out this is a fairly stretchy yarn, just so that you're aware. Like it's, you know. So you can make this, if you're using this particular yarn, the Cascade Yarn Specific Chunky, I recommend making this slightly smaller than what you're aiming for, just because it is a little bit stretchy. It does hold its shape very well. So it's not like it's going to get stretched out and stay stretched out. It does have a lot of bounce back, but it's also very stretchy. So that's good. We like something that holds its shape very well, but is also pretty stretchy. I will also do a yarn review, a product review for this. Should I do a vlog style product review? I think I'm going to do a vlog style product review, where I just nonchalantly talk about it in the vlog. Stay tuned for that, because I think that's what I'm going to do. I just gave myself a random idea. So this is definitely going to fit me. And see, trying it on, I'm like, this is not long enough, obviously. It will eventually be long enough, but it's not currently long enough. But that's how I determine how long I want my hats, because I can try it on. I can see how, like, it feels from a sensory aspect, and, like, I can look at my camera as a mirror or in a mirror, depending, and see, like, does it look long enough? Does it physically feel long enough? Yes or no? And I can gauge based on that. So in that kind of a terminology, you don't have to have a round count, because if it feels like it's fitting you good lengthwise, and it looks like it fits you good enough lengthwise, and it's appealing visually, and it doesn't look like it needs to be longer, then you just stop. And then I would just do like an edging. I would stop a little bit prematurely just to check to see, because you don't want to do too long and then add an edging. But I recommend an edging on hats, like whether it's a fancy edging or just a single crochet edging, just to kind of neaten up and tighten up the bottom. So I like to stop a little prematurely so I can decide, is this where I'm stopping before I do the edging, or do I need like a round or two before I do the edging? Kind of like that. And that's how I make my hats, essentially, is I just physically put it on my head to be able to determine whether or not it's fitting me good, if that makes sense. Also, I just wanted to say thank you for helping us reach one of our goals. We're officially at 303 views. Thank you guys so much for getting me there. I'm super stoked. Again, I don't really have a lot of money coming in, but after we do get to 200 subscribers, I still do want to do the giveaway. I would just need to wait until I get more money coming in. So that is definitely a thing, and it just might not be immediately, like the moment I get 200 subscribers, but anytime after that where it's financially feasible for me, I will be planning on doing that. And again, I will be giving away one entire 10-piece set of Clover or more crochet hooks and a variety of yarns. And I recommend that you buy these also if you want to check out my product review of these. I did an older product review from years ago, like probably only a couple years after I had them, and then after I bought them, and then I did a recent product review last year, I think. Either this year or last year. And I've owned this exact set of crochet hooks for 8 years now. So I personally, in my opinion, think I'm relatively qualified to make an accurate product review, just on the basis that I use these all the time and I've owned them for 8 years. So I bought the set in September of 2017, to be exact. And I think that they're great. I don't have a whole lot of hand cramping when I use these, so I can crochet for many hours longer than like the traditional straight metal ones, because those hurt my hands really bad. And one thing that I really like, there's this one. It does come with a variety of small hooks. The largest hook that it does come with in the set is a 6mm. But a small hook that I like to use is the F. It's the 3.75. And normally I don't like to use small hooks. And here's the 4 that I like to use, the 4mm, which is a little bit bigger, which is the purple. And then the 3.75, which is the pink. And it does come with the 3.5 as well, I believe. I'm not sure which color that is. Oh, it comes with a 3.25, a 3. I think a 3.5, yeah. A 3.25, a 3.5, 3.75, a 4. It does come with a 4.5, a 5, and a 6. And it also does come with a 2.25 and a 2.75. So the smallest size is a 2.25, I believe. And then it goes from 2.25, 2.75, 3.25, 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.55, 5.5, and 6. I believe is how it goes. Now I don't have the 4.5 that I know of because I lost it. I mean, I'm sure I have it somewhere. Here's a similar brand. It's really, really dirty. It's a similar style brand, but you can see the quality difference. This is a different material and it's really hard and not as soft and malleable as this one. This one's firm enough, but it's soft and malleable in a way that feels right. This one is not great. I feel like I could break the rubber off on this, and also I was able to easily bend the metal on this one. Like, look at that. I'm never going to use this ever again. So I would never. I cannot bend the metal on these ones. Unless I like really, really, really tried hard. But they're not going to bend on their own, which is what I really like about them. So when I'm financially able to do the giveaway after we hit 200 subscribers, I will be giving away a full 10-piece set of these. I have some other hooks over here somewhere that are not in here, like the 5mm one is right here. My 5.5 is probably somewhere on the floor here. Oh no, my 5.5 is right here. So the only one I'm missing is the 4.5. This is a newer 5.5 because the 5.5 that I did have, I lost. But this is kind of what they look like. It's just missing one. And I normally, like I said, don't like to crochet with I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't know my mic had died. I didn't know that. I did not know that. We can't charge the mic right now because my phone gimbal was just dying and it needs to be plugged in. So we're just going to have to go with the audio on my phone, which is not going to be that great. At least until I go. At least until I go. If there's a favorite yarn of yours that you like, don't be afraid to let everybody know in the comments what type of yarn that you guys like. Yarn preferences can be a slightly controversial topic, but I feel like you're safe to discuss all that here. So, if there's a yarn that you just absolutely hate, let us know in the comments. Heck, I might even agree with you. Like, a yarn that I hate, I'll go first. The yarn that I hate is Caron Simply Soft. I find it's softer than it needs to be. It is so soft that it ends up being super flimsy and it has no structure. I don't think the quality of the yarn itself is necessarily bad. I just think it is 5 times softer than it needs to be with zero stability and structure. And I feel like you have to balance stability and structure with softness. And you have to kind of get the levels right. And I feel like the softness is through the roof and the stability and structure is like way down here. And it's not where it needs to be. It's way too soft. Like, you want a good balance of stability and structure and softness combined. If you don't have both, then I feel like the yarn is useless. And the reason I say that, for me personally, is because I've tried to use Caron Simply Soft before, and it's so soft and flimsy, I can't even barely crochet with it because I keep dropping my stitches. It slides out of my hand. It's so slippery, I can't even hold it. And when I tried to crochet with it for years, I just kept dropping my crochet stitches because I couldn't hold on to it long enough to even do anything with it. Because it was too slippery, way too soft, and didn't have enough structure. And so some people love Caron Simply Soft. I don't judge you negatively if you do. If you do, that's great. You're better at handling it than I am for sure. But just for me personally, it's not my favorite. I think if it was still soft but less soft with more structure and stability, I personally feel that I would like it more. But that's just me. So yeah. But no hate to people who like it. I don't know why yarn preferences are so controversial anyway in the first place, because you can like whatever you want, who cares? It's not hurting anybody. Like whatever yarn you want, it doesn't hurt anybody. I just personally don't like Caron Simply Soft, and that's my hot take. I like other Caron brand yarns, which I think Caron is Yarn Inspirations. I think. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. There are other Caron and or Yarn Inspirations yarns that I like. So it's not anything against the brand specifically, it's just towards that specific yarn. I've just never liked it. Just because it was too soft to even work with. Like, it felt like a wet noodle that you could never get a hold of, in my personal opinion. But the quality of the yarn itself isn't bad. It's just not structured enough and way too soft. And that's the only fix I think it needs. I think the actual quality of the spin job is pretty decent, last I checked. But I haven't used it in years, so maybe I'm wrong. Also, if you're watching, please comment down below because I'd like to talk to you guys. I'd love to talk to you guys. And actually not just be talking to myself, if that makes any sense. So, oh yeah, it says Michael said hi. I think I already said hi to Michael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. A crap ton. We are at 340 views, so we're already 40 views over my goal of 300 live views. I think that's incredible. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you guys so much for all you do when it comes to watching my videos. For all the engagement that you do, for just being here and watching. 340 views is a lot. For me, at least. They're not 340 current views. They are 340 overall views, but still. My goal was 300 overall views and we surpassed it, so thank you. If you do want to support the work that I do and you want to help me be able to support more, be able to film and create more content for you guys, and hopefully in the near future, other types of content than just live streams, feel free to go over to the pinned link in the comments and purchase my brand new Rib Helix Stitch Grubby pattern. It's very cheap and inexpensive because I wanted everybody to be able to purchase it for the most part. And so I didn't want to charge too much. So I'm charging a pretty cheap price for it. And it would just mean the world to me. They make great gifts. And it just would help me to be able to support the work that I do. And I just think it would be great. And if you know a crocheter who would like it, you can share the link with them too. So I just think that it's really important. And it just is going to help me be able to support the work that I do. It's going to allow me to be able to crochet more things and make more content for you guys. And it's going to also allow me to design more patterns. And it may even allow me to design free patterns once in a while. That's possible. It's very possible, you guys. But I can't do it without the support from you guys. So commenting and engaging with the video, liking the video, subscribing, and just once in a while, if you could purchase a pattern here and there, or even if you can't, you could always heart the pattern on Ravelry. That would help at least. Anything you could do would help. Or even just viewing the pattern on Ravelry. Just clicking the link and taking a look, and you can give it a heart. That's free to do. And you don't have to have an account, I believe. Don't quote me on that, though. Ooh, we're on the last round before I do the transitional row. So after this round, I will be doing another round of blue in the half double crochet in the third loop only, like we did in the green, and then switch back to the green. I didn't think we were there yet. But woohoo, we're pretty much there. We just have to do this last row of half doubles in the back loop, which is also known as the half double rib stitch. And then one row with the blue in the third loop, and then switch to the green, and we will be working the green in the back loop instead of the third loop. And then we'll just do that for 4 rounds. And then if I decide that I need to do another strip of blue, then we would do another green round of half double crochet in the third loop before we switch back to the blue, which I don't think we'll get to because I don't think it'll need to be that long. But if it did need to be that long, that's what we would do. So every color that we're finishing, that is what the back loop that's what the third loop half double crochet is done in. So like here we did the green and we did the final round with the third loop, a half double, and then we switched. Which did end up making another rib underneath it, which is kind of interesting. I'm just now realizing that. It's supposed to be kind of a separating round, but because I went directly into the back loop, it does kind of make another round, which is kind of weird, honestly. But I kind of like it. Wasn't my plan, and I didn't think it through, but I like it. That is interesting. It's because I ended up working in the back loop with the blue, and so it exposed that green front loop from the round prior, So what I should have done is done one round of half double, and then the next round would have been half double in the back loop, and then it would have exposed the front loops of that prior blue round, which I didn't even think of at that particular time. But yeah, I think we are going to just, I know we're not done with this round and it's going to be a minute, but I am just going to try it on and just kind of see where we're at. We will at least have to finish this round and then a finishing round, but I just kind of want to see where we're at. It's almost kind of like a bowl, you guys. I love it. I actually like the rippliness on the top. It wasn't a design choice, and some patterns I'm sure it would be, but it ended up working out. I don't want to stretch it too much just because the way I did the color changes, you can pull them loose. Once you weave in your ends, though, they will stay secure and they will not come loose, just to be clear. But in the interim, they can come loose still. I like this. I think this is a nice design. In my opinion. You might not, and that's cool, but I currently am loving it. So I am going to be doing, finishing this round, doing one round in the third loop, and then doing the next several rounds and finishing it off in the green. This is what the top looks like. This is what the side looks like. And I think it ripples on top in like all the right spots, if I'm being honest. So yeah, the hat's going really well and I really, really like it. I think that is coming out perfect. I don't know how much of this I'll have to make matching fingerless gloves. I am hoping I will if I add the two yarns together. It's possible I will, and I can also pair it like I showed earlier in the live video with this white, which is a thicker white, and it's acrylic based, which would still go with this because this is an acrylic blend, because this yarn here is it's a wool acrylic blend, so this is a little thicker, but I think if we mix them together, if I don't use all of this color by the time we're done, I probably won't use all of this color, but it's possible I could use all of this color because I've used more of the green. So we might have to supplement with the white, which is totally fine. Anywho, I really like this yarn and I think it's fun. Also, I want to show you a fun gift that my mom got me that I've been really, really loving lately. If you guys have not tried this, it's the Trader Joe's Brazil nut body butter. I'm just gonna open it up as if you guys can smell it, even though you can't. It smells fabulous. This is 8 whole ounces. This is a lot of body butter. Like, look how huge that is. It has acai in it. It's backwards, but so you can read it. It smells fabulous. And I've been loving this on my skin. It's been really working for me. And it smells so good. I absolutely love it. And this is a great gift and you get a huge amount. This is probably going to last me a year, to be completely honest. And I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying it's going to last me a long time and I appreciate that. So, it's a great thing to have. I love it. And it smells really good. I put some on my hands like over 2 hours ago. And my hands still smell nice. It's not a super strong scent, but it is a long lasting one. For sure. So yeah, this is how the hat's turning out. It's really, really great. I'm really loving it. And I'm trying to think of what I want to do for the fingerless gloves that I hope to make if I have enough yarn. I can make fingerless gloves in the white, they just wouldn't match the hat exactly. But I would like to somehow match the hat by either doing the white and incorporating one or both of these colors in with the white, or I'm not sure because this color is running low, so I'm not exactly sure how much of this I can incorporate, if any. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Wow, we have 350 views, you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you, excuse me, if you can subscribe, that'd be great. I would absolutely love it. I'm suddenly getting the hiccups and I don't know why. I don't know what is going on with me. All right, all right, all right. I'm just checking on my Ravelry, looking on there to see what we got going on there. Again, I did post the link, pinned it in the comments if anybody is interested in said purchase of that. Would be greatly appreciated. It just helps support the work that I do. So if you're interested in the ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern, you can click the pinned link in the comments of this live stream and you can check it out there. It's a very great pattern and it's very versatile. You can use it to clean all areas of your home. It's primarily a dish scrubby, but you can use it to clean your bathroom or you can use it as a body scrubber. However you want to use it, that's how you can use it. I do plan on making more patterns though, making more interesting ones as well, so stay tuned for that. I may end up writing a pattern for this hat. It's possible. So stay tuned. Yeah, I'm just really having fun with this back loop half double crochet, you guys. It just is so fun and easy to work, you know what I mean? And it's not all the time that I use my J hook, the 6mm one, and I'm really liking it. Hey, hey, thank you for the new live watchers. If you are new and you are watching, don't forget to check out my ribbed helix dish scrubby pattern. Click the link in the comments, it's pinned. Also, if you do see the pattern, it is $2. If you think $2 is too high of a price, let me know in the comments. If you're considering buying it but you think $2 is too expensive, you're allowed to say that in the comments. Let me know because I don't know if $2 is too high of a price or a decent price for that pattern. If you wouldn't pay $2 for that pattern, but there is an amount you would pay, let me know in the comments. I'm open to all feedback. And if I get an overwhelming feedback of the price is too high, I may lower it. It's possible. Just let me know in the comments. So I'm probably just going to do a few more like rows in the green and finish it off with the green. But I pray I have some left over because I want to make matching fingerless gloves. And I think that would just be so cute. Also, if you're watching and you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. Boost this. Boost everything. Boost it, boost it, boost it. They're coming loose and I don't like it. Oh, and oops, I passed the beginning. My bad. I like legit past the beginning, which is not what we want. Okay, we got this stitch to do, that stitch to do. Okay. There we go. We're doing one round now of half double crochet in the third loop. I almost said back loop, the third loop, and then we're going to be switching to the green. Which I really wish you guys could see how green the green is, but it's just not going to pick that up on camera, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, we've been going live for almost 2.5 hours, you guys. If you know somebody who might like the pattern, share the link with your friends and family. So I think we'll probably only do a couple more rounds after we do the blue. We're doing the final round of the blue, you guys, and we'll end on the green. And I don't know what edging stitch that I would like to use yet. If you have a cute edging stitch that you recommend that's specifically designed for edging your projects, let me know. Because I'm looking for kind of a neat, tidy one that looks nice and stylish, while also tightening up the bottom of the project just a little bit, you know? I'm going to probably do my own research too after, because I want to make sure it suits the style of the hat and make sure it looks good. I gotta check, make sure I haven't accidentally been crocheting in the back loop. Phew! Because we are doing one round in the third loop, and a few rounds back, I was doing some in the third loop and then switch back to the back loop, and didn't notice it right away and was like, whoops. It looked a little funny. You can do it as a design feature, but it wasn't my intention. I had to undo it and redo it. I'm having to consciously watch myself and make sure I'm putting it in the third loop. I keep almost wanting to say back loop though, because most of my rows or rounds, are in the back loop. I'm just doing one transitional round in the third loop. Righty. Wow, 364 views. 364 live views. That is incredible, you guys. That is legitimately incredible. We surpassed our view count that I wanted by 62. Because I wanted a goal of 300. Also, leave in the comments below if you're watching, what type of crochet patterns would you want to purchase that you'd be looking for? Like bags, sweaters, hats, cup cozies, coasters, dish scrubbies. Like what type of pattern, if you were to download one for however many dollars, what style of pattern would you be more likely to buy? Like a dish scrubby versus a bag. Would you prefer a bag pattern? Because that's doable. And I think I'm going to get to the end here, take a quick crochet break, and I'm going to Google, because I'm getting ready soon to start working on the edge for the hat, because I'm only going to be doing a couple rounds of the green, and so I'm going to Google some stitches that are great for adding an edge to my crochet project. Because I'm not leaning towards any particular style of stitch. I haven't come to that conclusion yet. And we'll try the hat on before I do that. So we're just a few stitches out from being back at the end again. I feel like that round went fast. I'm not even crocheting that fast. Okay. Okay, we are done. We're with this color. We do have to switch. But before we switch, I do want to try it on. Again, this is what the top looks like, which is an accidental puffy, wavy texture, but I think it looks really nice. So accidental, but I love it. Yeah, I think maybe 4 rows or less will be perfect, plus an edging row. And this, the only reason you can kind of see a seam is because you can see where the colors changed abruptly, but there's no actual seam. It's just you can see where the color changes are happening. And it looks really good, you guys. Again, these little bits will be pulled tighter once I weave in the ends as well. And this loop is huge. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just being weird, you guys. My little loopy tail thing. Whatever you want to call it. I'm just having fun. There's a lot of things I didn't mean to do in this hat that I did. I don't regret it. Not even a little. I love this hat so far. It's turning out to be even better than I thought, in my personal opinion. So let's take a break from that and Google on the Googles what, not Gmail, I want Google. We can go on the Googles with my laptop and Google kind of what stitch ideas we can use for the edging of this hat, because we're going to be doing that here pretty soon in a couple rounds, and I want to make sure we have that. crab stitch, which I use that one a little too frequently, and I just prefer not to. I want one that's not super out there, because again, it has to be able to lay flat for a hat. So I like to use Google Images when I'm searching for stuff, because it does give me ideas. They can have texture. I just don't want one that's going to be super drapey and super long. You know, I want one that's going to tighten up the edge of the hat a little bit and look nice. Similar to the way that a single crochet edge would do if you were doing half double, which I am. Like, you see what I mean? Going from a half double to a single. How it, but not necessarily a single. Just because a single is boring. That could be doable. But that's a little much. If you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments. I'd be curious to know what your recommendations are. I don't want one that's super loopy or lacy. Or one that has a really intricate stitch pattern either. Just something that looks nice and tidy, if that makes sense. I might, if I don't find anything in a minute, I might need to go deal with this off camera, because personally I just don't know what I want to do. I might just resort to single, but I feel like single crochet is just so boring. And I just don't know that I want boring. I think I have an idea. I think I already have an idea of what I want. What about a front post half double crochet? That creates kind of a ribbing texture. What about that? I think we might go with that, possibly. That could be an idea. But I don't know if we would need to do more than one round for that to make it look right. I'm not sure. Either that or just a single stitch, single crochet. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, but those are kind of my ideas for the hat. So I am going to switch off to this green color, which looks blue on camera, but I swear it's the green one. You can tell it's greener on camera when I put it up to this one, but you can't tell when I don't. But yeah. Anywho, I'm going to do that, but I'm probably going to do that off camera. Again, this is what it looks like on the head. And I really like it. So anyways, I think that's going to be it. We have gone live for 2 hours and 33 minutes. I want to say thank you for tuning into this live stream. I also want to just say, don't forget to go to the Ravelry link in the comments and check out the Rib Helix Stitch Scrubby. If all you can do, or all you're willing to do, is heart the pattern, that would be greatly appreciated, because it does help support the work that I do. And if you give a yarn heart to the pattern, it's free. And yeah, anything that you can do in that regard is much appreciated. Again, it does help support the work that I do. And it was really fun to create this pattern, and I just really love it. And I'm going to hopefully start using these soon. So, for me personally, because I'm tired of sponges getting all grimy and dirty and harboring a lot of bacteria. And I like these because they don't harbor a lot of bacteria, because the bacteria swims through the material and then out the other side, because the sponge has an enter hole, but it doesn't have an exit hole, and the bacteria doesn't know to turn around and come back out, so it just gets trapped in there. So the bacteria goes in one side and out the other. So that's why these are so great, because it doesn't have a lot of bacteria. Plus, you can save a lot of money. One of these dish sponges, depending on how often you maintenance it and how well it's made, can last you up to 5+ years before it needs replacing.
And maintenancing it is easy. It just looks like throwing it in your dishwasher with your dishes or throwing it in your regular washing machine with your regular clothes. And you don't have to do any special cycle for it if you're washing your clothing. You just throw it in with your clothing on the regular cycle. It does not matter. Or if you feel comfortable putting it in your dishwasher, they're pretty much dishwasher safe. Go ahead. And so they can last you upwards of 5+ years. And I mean that literally. As long as you make it sturdy enough to where the ends don't unravel, and as long as you wash it regularly, it will last you that long. So, plus. 5+. And you don't have to replace them as much as you do dish sponges because, like I mentioned, they don't really harbor a lot of bacteria because there's holes going into the fabric and holes going out of the fabric. So, because of that, there's an exchange all the time happening. So, there's not really a way for the bacteria to get as stuck in these and to build up in there so it doesn't get stinky. And also, they work just as great, if not better, than sponges, if you're wondering. So, they work really good. Like, they're really good at scrubbing, which is what I like about this one because it has that textured edge, which is really good for scrubbing. And they work really great. So, if you're skeptical about yarn made dish scrubbers, spongy thingies, just know that they work just as good or if not better than sponges and they last 5+ years. They're washable and they save a lot of money, honestly. And you can make multiple in a day. They're just easy to make and they don't take super long. So it's a quick Christmas gift, easy to make. And if you make a few of these, you never have to buy a sponge ever again. And you can use them on every surface in your home pretty much, for the most part. And you can use it to clean your bathroom, you can use it to clean your dishes, your countertops, your stove, everything. So, and like I said, you can color code them for different things. Like you could do yellow for the kitchen, pink for the bathroom, whatever you want to do. Or you could do the smaller ones for the kitchen, the larger ones for the bathroom. Like I said, however you see fit to do it, that's how you should do it. So, anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this live stream. I really appreciate all of the interactions that I've gotten for you guys. Again, don't forget to check out the Ribbed Helix Dish Scrubby pattern on Ravelry. It really does help to financially support the work that I do here, and the pattern is only $2. So it's very cheap. And again, it does come with both sizes. And it's pretty beginner friendly, I would say. I personally say it's intermediate beginner as far as skill level, but it's easy according to the Craft Yarn Council. Because I looked up the terminology they use, and easy is what the terminology is that they're using for the skill level that I Googled. I described that what I thought the skill level was needed for this pattern, and it said the Craft Yarn Council would consider that easy. There's beginner, easy, intermediate, and advanced. So it's not quite beginner, but it's just above beginner. So, but I personally would say it's like intermediate beginner, which basically translates to easy. So it's not super hard. It is double stranding the yarn, so it's a little bit like physically more difficult to maneuver, but it's easy to comprehend how to do for any beginners. And I highly recommend it. And I may end up doing a giveaway with it. So stay tuned because the more you support me in my patterns, the more I can do other kinds of content on the channel and the more I can create more patterns for you guys. So I'm really excited. Let me know in the comments too what type of patterns you want me to design. Purse patterns, bag patterns, what type of patterns? Hat patterns, coaster patterns, bookmark patterns. What kind of patterns do you think I should do? Let me know in the comments below. And again, I will catch you guys in my next live stream. Bye, guys.